Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to Glad We Talked podcast.
I'm Chanel.
And I'm Tori.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day, Chanel.
How are you celebrating?
Well, actually, today's my anniversary.
Shut up. With
Yeah.
Mitch?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I will be celebrating my anniversary, but I also would like to recognize all of the amazing women in our lives and that are friends for this podcast.
We have so many lovely, bold, beautiful, important women in our lives.
Influential.
Yeah, influential. And hi to all of them. And thanks for being you guys
Thanks for being beautiful women that bring us into this world.
and bring us joy. We're back in action.
And we're so glad to be back in action.
We're not virtual anymore. We're in person. I'm looking in your eyes.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I'm not even kidding. I was going to tell our listeners that I am staring into your eyes right now.
I love it. We're back.
I know. It feels good. It's so different having to do it virtually.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like I know I wouldn't like it virtual because I'm more of an in-person type
Yeah.
of person. Like I feed off body language and stuff, but doing it virtually was pretty tough.
It's almost like when you have phone calls with your friends and you haven't seen them in a while and you catch up and you're like, oh, I wish we can like get brunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you finally get brunch and you're like, oh, I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like.
Am I wrong?
No. It's just so specific.
Yeah, but that's how I felt. It's like we were
And then you get brunch and then you're like, yes. So glad we got brunch.
Exactly, because there's something different about being in person with each other.
Yeah,
You know, I think we all felt that through COVID too.
totally.
And
It's the in-person vibe and body language and being able to like touch and feel and
create TikToks.
create TikToks. So glad we're here.
So glad to be here. And we're glad that you're listening with us as always.
We were just listening to Spotify DJ that Tori introduced me to.
Yes, I don't know if everyone knows this, but recently Spotify dropped new AI DJ, which is personalized per your data and information. And he talks to you and it's pretty cool. If I wasn't recording video, I would play it.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, it's me. I'm going to set you up with like.
It's me. Who's me?
He has a name.
Oh, okay.
I think it's DJ. I don't know. I don't know his name.
We have the same DJ because we both
Outstanding
played
items.
it.
Yeah. But okay, the voice is the same,
Mhm.
but the content's different. So he gives you. Why am I holding my lipstick?
I honestly don't know.
It's like,
It's a product placement for Charlotte Tilbury.
yeah. It's just, if anyone's wondering, my brother's fiance gifted me this. It's Pillow Talk lip gloss.
Oh, Pillow Talk is like the most popular Charlotte Tilbury shade.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maggie.
People love it.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, girl.
Thanks, girl.
But the DJ is pretty cool because he goes into your past, songs you like, songs you might not know, and kind of are similar, and creates a playlist for you.
I like that. And
he talks to you.
He does. And Spotify is really good at curating playlists. Like they are always on point. They have so many different like genres and playlists and, you know, obviously Spotify Wrapped. But I like now that there's like a guy talking to you. It feels like a radio almost.
It's more personal.
Yeah.
This is my one thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're new to it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few days to play around with it.
Okay.
I want to be able to tell my DJ guy, I'm not in the, what type of DJ mood are you in?
Yes.
So Spotify, if you're listening, our podcast is on your channel. But
True.
If you're listening to us, I would like to say I'm in the mood to be at like a club, or I want to be at a wedding. You know, I want to DJ for a wedding vibe.
I was actually thinking that when we were playing my DJ playlist just now because it was like 2 hype songs and then 2 like slow, like really slow, like sad songs. And I was like, wait, this is 2 different vibes.
It gets to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I was on a country vibe.
Okay.
And I wasn't in a country vibe, which is the thing. I wanted to be able to tell him what my mood was, but you can skip forward and then he changes it up for you to kind of get where your headspace is.
Oh, okay.
But we don't need to do that back and forth. I can tell you.
Right. Let's just start from the beginning. Let's just get it done right the first time.
Right. And let's give them different personalities.
Mm.
If I want a down south DJ, I want that down south DJ.
This just launched like yesterday and you're like, I want different personalities. I want I want Southern. I want slow. I want fast.
I want wedding.
They're like, we're still in beta.
I want some Earth, Wind, Fire.
We'll see if they listen.
We'll see. But this
It's
is
it's testing, right? It's like it just launched, so
I'm eager for you to tell me your thoughts.
yeah. I mean, from what I played, I feel like I won't be playing it much. I kind of like their curated playlist a little bit more,
Mm,
but I think like it's a certain time and place type of
it
vibe.
is. The first song I played on this DJ, he was like, I know you like Britney Spears, so here we go with Hit Me Baby one
And
more
you're like,
time.
I'm in.
Yeah, so that's why I had to talk about it really, is because he got
He
me
got
from
you
the
from the,
get go.
from the very beginning. You're like, I'm always in the mood for
Yeah.
Britney.
I was like, dun na. I'm like, DJ guy, you know me.
DJ, how did you know?
Play my song.
Britney again.
It was good. So I'm curious how you like it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're kind of switching places this week because I have a lot of pop culture
Go for it.
things going on, and
You know, I thrive in the pop culture chat. So
yeah, yeah.
please tell me all your pop culture thoughts.
Okay, new TV show,
Mm.
Shrinking on Apple TV
I am dying to watch that.
with Jason Segel
Okay.
and Harrison Ford.
Is it good?
When I tell you I haven't laughed at a show since Ted Lasso,
Since Ted Lasso.
yeah.
Ted Lasso's cute, but it's not that funny.
He's funny though. Like there's
Yeah,
moments.
he's cute.
Okay, maybe I'll say I haven't seen humor on the daily level played out so well
Okay.
in a very normal way.
Okay.
And the lines.
They're just good. Good one-liners.
Harrison Ford, hilarious. He plays like a crotchety old
Oh,
man.
I love that.
And Jason Segel, we all know and love him from
Obsessed with
How I
him.
Met Your Mother,
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall,
Classics.
dorky, funny, tall guy.
I love him so much. I think he's
Ugh,
hilarious.
he's a dad in this. He's kind of a hot mess. And it's hilarious. So I don't want to spoil it, but obviously from the name, you assume it's something to do with therapy. So there's this whole mental wellness and health and therapy role involved in this, but it's just funny.
How many episodes are they all released? Like how many episodes are out?
I believe they're all released. I just found out because of it the other day when our past coworkers, Lewis and Laura, were talking about it.
Oh, okay.
They're my TV rec people,
Okay.
and we have
We're
a group.
raving about it.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm dying to watch that, so I will report back if I start it.
you have to watch it. It's
No,
not
I
even
will.
if.
It's on our list.
Okay, good. Because Mitch has to wake up really early, and he stayed up late with me because we wanted to watch another episode. It was like midnight, and usually
Yeah.
that's way
That's
past
like,
his
yeah.
bedtime.
But you're like, oh, I'm
We're like,
hooked.
one more. I made him. He was playing video games. I was like, get off right now. We need to watch Shrinking.
No, I'm in. We're gonna watch. The thing is, I know you don't understand this language at all, but I've been watching Love Island, and
know.
Casa Amor is coming up, and
What?
for all the Love Island people out there, they know what Casa Amor means. It's like
House of Love.
no, it's just yes, that's what it means in Spanish.
Oh.
But like Casa Amor episodes are like the most dramatic episodes of Love Island.
Okay.
So that's coming up. So I really have to get through that. It's the reason I even exist.
Maybe I'll watch Love Island.
You won't.
I tried it
The
once.
day that you will, I'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch that and I'll report back.
Perfect. Okay. Next kind of Chanel realm of topics that I'm going to cover.
Go for it.
Beauty product.
Mm.
I was served an ad for Merit Beauty Products.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clean beauty line. I'm sure you know all about it.
Yes.
It's called the Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick. The ads really looked interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is that it's clean beauty minimalist. I think it's part of this minimalist collection
Mm-hmm.
where you just do like the imperfections and where you need it instead of doing like a full foundation. So
That doesn't work for me.
It's target application.
Okay.
If you're a lazy girl, which I've started to become in regards to makeup,
Mm-hmm.
and like less is more, I'm kind of excited to try it.
That's definitely for a certain type of person. Like the issues that I have with my complexion are not targeted. Like I don't.
You have good skin though.
I don't want to be annoying. Be like, I don't get pimples, but my skin's really dry, so I don't really get pimples. My issue is like under eye circles. I have really dark circles.
So you can use it in multiple places.
I know, but at the end, I feel like I'm just gonna end up putting it all over my face. because that's what I do with concealer. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna put
Really?
concealer on because I just want to cover up my under eye
Under eye.
circles, and then I end up putting it like all over my face. I'm like, I don't know how this happened. So I would like to say that I like to Target, but it's hard to sometimes because you want like that even complexion look.
Right. What got me is I've been working on my skincare, so I do have a kind of even complexion. It's a little bit of red, which I've been trying to fix it. It's just I'm gonna live with it. But I'm curious to see if what I can do with this stick when I get a little bit hormonal acne when I'm
Hmm.
getting my period on my chin. So like right now I have one. So I'm just curious if I do some spot treatment, some under eye, have a little bit of blue circles, and then
Hmm.
any red spots. I'm very curious to see.
I think it's perfect for that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
especially for if you're like hopping on a Zoom call or something like that. You can just like do like a little under your eyes, a little on certain spots, and then like mascara, and you're good.
exactly.
Merit is a really good brand. I use their cream blush, and I love it. Like
Yeah.
I put tinted moisturizer on and I put the cream blush and it gives you such a nice glow. I use it with like the Rare Beauty highlighter and it
Mhm.
just is like it's so like creamy and it makes your skin look so pretty. So I feel like the complexion stick would probably be good too.
It's interesting that all these sticks are in now.
I know. When did
These
this happen?
cream sticks.
I know. It's the dewy, like clean. That's the whole vibe
The
now. So
clean girl vibe. It's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Here we are.
You should get it though. It's a good brand.
I think it's $38. They have it at my Sephora. I'm gonna go pick it up. I've been meaning to. It's just lazy girl right now.
We love being lazy girls.
Yes. So those are my Chanel updates for the week.
That's funny.
Thanks.
I love these updates.
I was really excited to be contributing to the pop culture side of things.
Usually you're like talking about TV shows and stuff. It's the beauty, I think.
I brought them to the table though. I was
see.
excited to share them.
Okay.
You know,
Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome. So, do you have a Tori update? Like, do you have a more emotional or
My emotional
humankind?
human update is I want to go to a club.
Oh, that's not very Tori, but okay, do tell.
Obviously, I've talked about how I like to dance, and I haven't done 305 because of my calf thing.
Your dance workout class.
My dance workout class, 305 Fitness. So I have a calf injury, so I can't go back to that just yet. So I haven't been dancing in that class.
Okay.
I haven't been like out dancing in like so long, and I feel like I used to do that a lot.
We
And
used to do that a lot.
we did. We used to go to a bar, have some drinks, and just dance the night away. And I haven't done that in so long. So I was on my way here on the train and I was just listening to like pump up songs because I was a little tired. I was like, let me just put on some pump up songs. And I was like,
Too bad you didn't know about the DJ.
I know, right? And I was like dancing in my head, like on the subway. And I was like, oh,
Do
I
you have
want to
routines? Like, what does that look like in your head?
what?
What it like paint the picture for us?
Sometimes it's routines. Sometimes it's routines. Sometimes I just
Are you like in 5, 6, 7, 8?
I want to say no, but yes. Like the routines get serious in my head. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they're routines. Sometimes they're just like I'm like moving a little bit, but like I can't be that embarrassing girl who's dancing on the train.
Your head's like doing a little
Yeah, a little
nod.
nod, and I'm just like in my head, I'm in a bar or something. So I was just like, I would love to go clubbing for a night, just all my
Mm.
girls, dance the night away. That's all I want to do. You
All
know?
your friends are going to be messaging you now.
I know, like, let's go
out."
clubbing. Amanda, where are you at? So we'll see. I mean, I'm going out this weekend, so maybe I'll dance a little bit. I just feel like the club environment is like where you really dance, you know?
It definitely is.
I'm
And
not even a club girl.
I know it's
I
more
just
of a
wanna
bar
go.
girl.
Yeah.
But I haven't been going out that much in general. And I think a lot of it is because of COVID and times have changed, but we also have grown a little bit differently in where we are in life. And I think a part of that is also our relationship with drinking
Yeah.
and alcohol. And kind of this is more of the topic we want to talk about today. I feel like that's changed. I mean, everyone knows I read the Quit Like a Woman book, I did Dry January, but so much of going out was also drinking.
We used to just get together. Like, honestly, sometimes the drinking came first and the going out came after. Like, I would come over and be like, let's just have some wine. And we would be like in a t shirt and jeans. And I'd be like, should we go out? And it's because we had like a few drinks and we were like feeling it. And we were just like, let's go out. When you lived in Murray Hill at the time, we were like right around the bar scene. So we would
were
just
in
go
our
out.
20s still.
Yeah, exactly.
Single.
Exactly. Like, what else were we doing, you know?
Yeah.
I agree. I think a lot of it revolved around drinking. And we're not drinking as much anymore. Just,
Yeah.
I don't even know really why. I think it just kind of, I feel like when COVID first started, I was drinking a lot
Hmm.
and then it kind of just died down a little bit.
I feel like I started to drink more during COVID than I used to. I mean, it's hard to even say that. I think I was drinking and going out in New York City. That's a very much part of the culture is going out on the weekends, and it was you just do it in rotation. You go out, you go with friends, you go on dates, and it's just part of the culture. And then COVID, I realized I was still drinking, but not like in that social aspect. It was more I was living at home with my family, so we would have a game night and have some drinks, but nothing like crazy. It just was consistent. It was more
Right.
frequent. It felt like it was like, oh, at an end of the day, let's just have a glass of wine, you know?
And drinking before that felt like a means to social life. Like
Yeah.
you would meet up with friends, be like, let's grab a drink. Or you would want to go out for the night and be like, let's all meet first and drink and pregame and then we'll go out. And it was a way of like gathering, a way of like getting together and hanging out with your friends. It was kind of like you did all of this at once.
And that's one of the things I learned from the book Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker. She talks about how drinking is such a social thing, and it's almost like if you do it alone, you start to think about it a little bit more of like, why do I want to drink it? Versus when you're out in a social atmosphere, you're like, I want to fit in. I want to feel that flow of like connecting with people and excitement and of that first drink and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And it's more of like, oh, we're all doing it. Okay, then I'll do it.
Right.
And when you don't, if you say, oh, I don't want to drink, it's like, oh, no, just come on. And it gives you permission
Mm-hmm.
in a way to drink, even if you don't want to. Or, it gives the other person permission because then they have to think if they're not drinking, well, why do I want to drink? And it's like, if we all are drinking, then no one has to say, why aren't you drinking?
Right.
It's a weird psychology. And just to give you a little bit of background on Holly, she was an alcoholic. She's in recovery. She has her own program. She tried to do AA and then really did like a deep dive that it wasn't working for her. So she created a different program that was geared towards like fixing the inside things versus just following a path. If you're interested about it, read the book for sure. But it really started to make me think a little bit different about alcohol.
I think too that's why dry January is so hard to think about in a social aspect because I think when you talk about it, you're like, if you're like, oh, I'm going to be home 4 weekends out of the month in January, no one would blink an eye and be like, oh, that's so easy. You'll be fine. But if you're like, I have a birthday party in January and I have this, people will be like, oh, no, because
Yeah,
they know like that pressure of when you're around other people to drink is higher. So
exactly.
it's hard to stick to it when you're around everyone else who's drinking. For this episode, we obviously did a little research and I found an article in Psychology Today of like why people drink. And that was on it. It was like a social norm, whether you're like on a college campus or after work happy hours and you have like a norm of drinking every Friday, whatever it is.
It's a
Social,
habit.
it's a habit. Yeah. Some other ones were like past experiences, if you have like good or bad memories associated with drinking. Impulsive personality, if you're choosing to drink because like it's a quick reward and you like the feeling. And then like another one was stress, of course. Think about the people who come home and they're like, I'm so stressed, I just want a glass of wine to kind of ease the anxiety. And then the last one was environment, which is like if you have alcohol out or you see alcohol in your neighborhood or you live around a lot of bars or whatever it is, like alcohol related cues, it just causes you to drink more.
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking and experiencing when I did dry January a few months ago. It's been interesting because during dry January, obviously, I was focusing more and I found like, oh, I wanted to drink a little bit more. Like, oh, I wanted to go out and have a glass of wine. Oh, I wanted to go and get happy hour with friends. And I still was able to see people, but there was a little bit of that, like, I want it, but I
Mm,
didn't need it. So it made me think about why do I want it? And
right.
it made me think about the cues that were making me want to have a drink. And that's kind of like the internal things that impact your drinking. So
Did you
for,
figure it out?
yeah. So if I had a long week at work, I associated a glass of wine with relaxing and unwinding.
So that's the stress part of it.
Yeah. So it was stress. Like at the end of a difficult week, I just want a glass of wine and watch
Hmm.
TV. But you could still watch TV. You don't need the wine.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of replacing those dopamine hits or whatever that is with something else. And I would say the first week was definitely the hardest because you just came off of the holidays. So you're like cocktails and wine
Completely,
and,
yeah.
and then when I came,
I would say that's the easiest though. You're like, I need a detox after that.
yeah, but your body builds up this tolerance.
Your body recognizes that you're drinking this and it kind of misses it a little bit.
Yeah, you start to become dependent on it because I'm not a scientist. I don't know all of the details. I read it in my book.
You're not a scientist?
I don't know if you know this, but I am not a doctor.
That's crazy.
It affects your body chemistry and your body craves it. And then if you drink a lot when you're hungover, that's like actually withdrawals when you're getting sick or, not feeling well. So it affects your body chemistry in a way that if you keep drinking a lot, your body expects it almost.
Mm,
It's a weird science behind it.
okay.
So after the holidays, because I was doing families and parties and whatever, I was drinking more consistently. So after I got in the habit and I was like, oh, cold turkey,
Right. This is done.
yeah, it's
I can't have
done.
this.
I can't. And there were times where I was like, do I just give in? Like, why am I doing this? And I was thinking about it. I honestly could have. There were situations where I almost did. And then I was like, you know what? No, keep going.
And you just like committed.
Yeah, but it
So
made me start thinking about it. Like we were talking about, was it work? Was it something in a relationship? Was it because I wanted to go out with friends? Like, what was the actual reason? And was it like something internal that I was dealing with? And there was another way I could process it, which was another part in her book is like people drink because of inner wounds or like inner things to
mhm.
kind of displace
Mm.
or distract you from dealing with things. And as you guys all know, I was dealing with depression during this time or before that. And I think it's not that I was using alcohol as a crutch, but it wasn't helping my situation. I
It
wasn't
feels
feeling
good
as
in the
clear.
moment. It's a temporary solution too. Like I feel like sometimes you can drink and for like the night you kind of forget about your issues or you kind of it kind of suppresses it, but the next day you don't feel good about it. And it's also like that like moral hangover sometimes too if you go out.
I like that, the moral hangover.
Yeah, that's like the worst. Like you're like, what did I say? Did I say anything stupid? Or I don't know. Sometimes the next day after drinking is also not the greatest feeling,
Yeah.
depending on like where you drank or when you went out or how much you drank or whatever.
What's causing you to kind of think differently about your relationship with alcohol and where you are now? Because you and I used to go out and have fun and have a lot of drinks and
Honestly, how I feel now when I drink.
mm,
I I think like a few years ago, we would go out, we would drink a lot, we would go out and we would just do it all again the next day. And I felt crummy, but I also used to sleep in. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. I didn't really need to be a human. I would like wake up, go to a workout class, get a smoothie, then come back home and relax. Like I didn't have a lot of things to do. And then I would just do it again at night. And I think that was like my routine for a while, just
mm,
going out with friends, going out all night, coming home late, sleeping in. So even if it did kind of make me feel a little crummy, it was like, okay, because like I didn't really have much to do. I think now, I mean, through COVID, I kind of started to drink a little bit less because it was like everyone. I think I drank a lot in the beginning and then it kind of weaned off. But I think now number one, I'm getting older, so for some reason I feel like alcohol is affecting me differently. Like I feel so crappy when I drink.
yeah.
And I also just don't like how it makes me feel. Like sometimes, even when I'm drinking, I don't like the feeling of it anymore. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I still love to drink. Like, I still love to have a glass of wine or two here and there. And if I'm going out, I'm definitely drinking. But sometimes, like, midway through, I'm just like, I don't want this. And I don't know why. It's just like, it's like a more recent thing. So I would just say it's more of like a feeling thing of how it makes me feel now. I don't like waking up foggy. I don't like waking up tired anymore. We have this podcast. I have regular work. I feel like I'm just like so
More
busy.
responsibilities.
Yeah, I have so many more responsibilities. I have to be like a human. I have to be a good girlfriend. Like I have to be like a functioning human. I can't just like sleep in and, I have responsibilities. So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's important that we're talking about this as well because there's a few things that I did in researching this and reading the book that I wasn't aware of before. And it really brought this full picture to me and made things a little bit clearer as to why I chose to do this, and not only for the health benefits, but since I was in college and just noticing the drinking behaviors, binge drinking has become so popular. My parents have said, like, you guys drink too much. And it is interesting because I think drinking is also such a big part of the college culture. And you just think, like, oh, this is what you do in college, but there are health things associated with it. And turning 30 for me made me start to think about my health as well. I think maybe it's all of this timing, is that I'm not in my 20s anymore. My situation, like yours, has changed. I'm in a relationship. I have to take care of my dogs. I have work. My work responsibilities are increasing. I want to be healthy, and I don't know,
I
maybe that's
completely
part of
agree.
it.
I completely agree. I think my health has come into it a lot as well. Like, I also don't want to make it sound like we're not drinkers, because it's not like we're over here sober. Like, we
I mean, well,
definitely
right now we're sober.
right now we're sober. I just mean, like, in general, we're not sober people. But what? Are you sober
I'm
now?
I'm sober curious.
Oh Lord.
I know. So
But hold on. I just want to say, like, okay, Tori's sober curious. We're gonna get to that in a second. But I'm still very much drink. Like, I just think I drink differently now. I don't really care about getting drunk anymore. Okay, what is a sober curious thing you're going through over there?
I think after coming out of this recent depression period,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel a little bit different about how alcohol, and reading this book, and I'm not saying this book has changed me. I still like to have a glass of wine or a cocktail, but I've definitely been thinking more about how it affects me. And I have had a drink since I did dry January, and it definitely hits me a lot quicker. So
Your
that tolerance
tolerance.
went way down. I drank slower. I didn't drink as many drinks. I didn't have interest to drink more drinks. And I had one, and then I went to bed and I was fine the next day. I have no interest in waking up feeling like
Garbage.
complete shit the next day.
Yeah, like actual trash.
Yeah, it's just I don't enjoy it. Why do I put my body through that? What is the reward? And I think for me it was because of my anxiety that I was drinking in social situations. It kind of helped me feel a little bit
Like social
calmer.
anxiety.
Yeah. And then I start, especially with the dating scene, that's why I would drink and go out. And like when we would go out, we would drink and have fun. It was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we also have fun. Like we had so much fun. We have so much fun whenever we record the podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't drink all the time. Like sometimes we'll have a glass of wine, but it's not
A
always.
necessity.
Yeah. And so I've just found that my brain was less foggy, and my body was feeling better, and I actually lost weight during the
Oh
time I did
yeah,
dry
hundred
January,
percent.
and I've maintained that weight and from not drinking, and I saw the physical changes. My face was less puffy, my pants fit better, my digestion was better, and I just felt like health-wise, I just felt better. And why not continue to feel better and every day? And I also have been reading a lot about like your level of happiness when you're drinking, so it throws it all off. So when you drink, it's like you reach that high and then you get really low after that hangover,
I
and
think
then
that's
you
like the moral
go
hangover I was
up.
talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh, weekend's here. And then you associate with drinking and you have
Yeah,
fun. And then Friday, Saturday, and then you crash on Sunday and have Sunday scaries. And then you go back to the middle line and then
which
you
is
do
the
it
worst.
again. So it's like so up and down. Whereas in John Mayer was actually speaking to this. And this is why he's sober. He's like, if you don't have those highs and lows, you can just keep your level of happiness kind of consistent, which for someone like me, it might be helpful. So that's kind of why I'm sober curious. Also, I just have a lot to say on this.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone recently that's a recovering addict, and they told me that while they completely abstain from some substances, they do drink on occasion. They manage it well. It's not an issue for them, but they miss that social aspect. Their rule is they do it for celebrations, and they make that choice. So
Mm.
it's not every Friday. It's not because you had a hard day at work. Maybe it is. Maybe you want to take the edge off, but they make it knowingly. They say, okay, I'm choosing this. And if I'm at a wedding, sure, I'll have some
That makes
champagne.
sense.
And I like that idea because then it's more of you acknowledge why you're choosing to do it and you're in control versus like it controlling you, like how your emotions saying you need it versus
Mhm.
saying, you know what? I want to have fun. I don't need the alcohol to have fun, but I enjoy it. I enjoy that champagne. I enjoy that glass of wine with pizza or sharing a bottle with among friends. Then you make that choice and you knowingly do it versus like, I'm just going to drink to drown out my feelings, drown out my anxieties, insecurities, everything else.
Yeah. I
Bad
guess for
days.
someone who does have anxiety, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of why you're sober curious. Now, more recently, I've had a little bit of a better relationship with alcohol. Like,
Mm.
I think, like, obviously, we were saying multiple times, we used to drink to get drunk. We used to drink to, feel a little bit more bold. We were single. We wanted to talk to people. We wanted to meet people. I think alcohol helps with that. And now that we're not going out and doing that, I think the relationship with alcohol has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who comes home and like drinks wine. Like
Yeah.
that's just like I don't really drink at home that much. If I'm like watching a movie, like I don't do it for the stress aspect or the anxiety aspect unless I'm on an airplane. Um, naturally, I'm not coming home to have wine. I think for me, like I said before, like it's has become just like more social.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly proud of how far I've come with my relationship with it because
I'm
I
impressed.
I am too, because all I used to do, honestly, was drink. Like that was what my weekends were full of. It was
Well,
just
it wasn't. You weren't just drinking. It's not like you were held up in a room drinking.
no, I
Like you
wasn't.
were social.
Yeah,
Like
socially, but I
yeah,
just mean like happy hours after work, like almost every
a
day. If
lot of your life activities revolved
yeah,
around.
it was dating, happy
Yeah.
hours with friends, dinners. Then on the weekends, I was going out. So it was just like a lot of days out of the week were spent drinking.
Yep.
And now I'm just learning to say no to things. I'm learning to say, I need to prioritize myself. I need to go home and work on my podcast, or I need to go home and work out, or I need to go to physical therapy. Like I was saying, I have other things to do now. And I think I've just, my priorities have shifted naturally. And because I was such a social drinker, I'm lessening my social opportunities. And because of that, I'm just drinking less because I'm
Oh,
not someone who
interesting.
drinks alone. So when I lessen my social days, naturally my drinking lessens.
Does that unrelated to the drinking
Hmm.
and lessening your social activities, is that helping you? Like, do you feel less stressed?
Yes. Yeah. I think I've spoken about this before. It's like just people pleasing and just saying yes and
Right.
going to all these things because I don't like letting people down, but it's just prioritizing myself. So if I don't feel like doing something, I've learned to just say I can't do this. Like
That's great. You
yeah.
wanting to prioritize yourself. It sounds right now
Hmm.
that you're doing that.
Yes, and with that comes not drinking as much.
Right. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm proud of you. No, I'm just it's interesting to hear you on this journey because you were saying a few episodes ago that it was something you struggled with was prioritizing yourself. We talk about it and you're like, I just have so much going on.
Yeah,
And it's nice to hear that you are making those active steps towards prioritizing yourself, saying no, even though you feel like you're missing out, you're taking care of what you need to for you.
exactly. And still balancing
Congrats.
still balancing having some semblance of a social life. It's just not as much as before. But it's just interesting because we have very different perspectives on how we drink and like
Yeah.
why we drink. I think like for you it's more the stress,
It was,
anxiety
well,
plus social.
it was. I mean, it started out as I thought it was fun to drink, and that's because of college. You think
Right. No, of
it's
course.
fun, yeah, and then dating in New York, and
Yeah,
it just becomes part of your culture and your day to day, and you're like, oh, I turned 21, now I can go out to bars, and it just becomes part of your life, and it is
totally.
fun, and you do have a good time with friends. But then I think there's this binge drinking aspect that came into play where we in COVID too,
Hmm.
and just like drinking got to a different level. And this is kind of interesting. Is in the book too, she talks about like denying that you have a problem. I don't agree with her book 100%. Like, I'm just going to say there were things I took from it. There are other things I didn't. She says, like, if you have an issue with alcohol, you have a problem. I could stop. I did stop. I stopped, no problem, and
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't think you have to be sober 100% to,
Live a
yeah.
healthy,
And like, there's
bountiful,
like a
productive life.
superiority thing. Like, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. If I want to enjoy a glass of wine, I'm still going to do it. But
100%.
just doing it with a different mindfulness to it. When I was in college, I was anxious a lot and I wouldn't drink because I had that pressure to do a lot. Then after college, when I was like, ooh, freedom, social adult, then it like New York City definitely started to pick up that like fun drinking, going out, dating, whatever.
What do you think is like heavy drinking or binge drinking?
Well, this is interesting because I actually looked this up when I was doing my research.
Okay.
And heavy drinking for men is considered to be more than 4 drinks per day or 14 drinks per week. And for women, how many do you think it is?
I would say, well, is it drastically different from men?
It's a little bit different than men.
I would say it's like more than 5 drinks in a night or something, or like 10 drinks in a week,
Okay.
12 drinks in a week.
So it's more than 3 drinks per day for women
Okay.
and 7 drinks per week.
7 drinks per week.
I know.
Is
Girl,
that
back in the day, we go
yeah.
out and be like,
So
all right,
another
round
vodka
8.
soda, another Tito's. That was back when I drank vodka and I can only drink tequila.
Tequila. Dun, dun,
Wow.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah. And that's where I think we have this binge drinking thing where it's like, drink more, have more fun, keep going.
What was the stat from?
This was from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism.
Oh, okay. So
So it's
pretty,
legit.
yeah. Oh, okay. You told me.
But these are the things that people don't really know.
Right.
I didn't know that.
No.
You didn't know that.
I mean, that's pretty high. I think it's interesting though that it's different for men and women, I guess because of like the body.
Body composition.
Yeah.
So I also did a little bit of a deep dive here about
Oh.
the health risks and benefits and just to look at it a little bit differently because also in the book it was interesting. She compares alcohol to the cigarette industry where for so long people are like, it's okay, you can keep smoking, doctors do it, blah, blah, blah. And then like years later they do a study. I mean, alcohol has been around forever, but we do know that it leads to increased risks in some ways. So women have less body water than men, and alcohol resides mostly in body water, so we can't dissipate it as much and we have more fatty tissue and stuff. So kind of when you see like women get drunker faster than men, it's probably because of body water.
Although I don't know. Sometimes I beg to differ that.
Oh geez.
I guess it depends on your tolerance too.
Well, your tolerance goes up as this whole chemical reaction is taking place in your
Right.
body.
That's a
there's-
thing, right? Like tolerance is
Yeah.
a real thing.
There's a whole science behind it.
Yes, because
mean-
I feel like you said, like you took a month off and then you had alcohol and you're like, oh, whoa. I feel like when I don't drink for a while and I have a couple drinks, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that faster than usual.
Yeah, no, the body tolerance is a thing. For women, we also have an increased risk of long-term and short-term effects from alcohol, including liver disease, cardiovascular disease, neurotoxicity, memory blackouts. That's kind of where like you have a hard time remembering things.
Are you telling me what a blackout is?
No, like long term. So like you
Oh.
just can't remember your memory.
Oh, like
starts
long
to
term,
go.
not short
Yeah.
term.
Not short term.
Okay.
I mean, it could be short or long term memory.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
mean,
define it.
I definitely know what short term
Short term blackout.
were.
Yeah. I've never done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I don't think so.
I wonder if it's
And-
like not a genetic, but like a body reaction thing. Because I
Yeah.
used to easily like brown out or black out.
Huh.
Not easily. I would drink a lot, obviously, but
I think it just depends on everybody's body type,
yeah,
composition.
it's just like some people could drink so much and they were like, I was very drunk. I remember everything. And some people are like, I don't. Or some people throw up. Like everyone reacts so differently. None of it is good.
I know. As you're saying it, I'm like, why do we do this?
I
Why,
know.
like,
It sounds so
and that's part of
horrible.
it. It's like awful, and I think it's a maturity thing too.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like as you get older, you're like that's not fun. That's
Yeah.
not cool. Like why would you do that? To
I know. I used to think it was cool, and now I'm like, I can't believe that. And you know, listen. At the time, I was having fun, and like that's what my idea was of fun was, and
Mhm.
I'm not like super proud of it, but I think looking back, I don't regret anything. It put me in this place that I am now, where I can look back and be like, you know, I don't like how I felt when those things happened, and now this is how I want to feel moving forward.
Well put. I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And then the last health risk I wanted to just touch on is that it does leave women at a higher risk for breast cancer. I personally have breast cancer in my family. You also have breast cancer in your family.
Mhm.
So that was just something I learned in reading this book and just made me think a little bit differently.
Yeah. It makes it sound like alcohol is such a downer, and I definitely, you know, don't want it to sound like we're like, don't drink, it's horrible for you. But I think it's just good to be aware of the effects because I think sometimes we forget.
Exactly. maybe approaching alcohol differently. And I think it's just good to take a look at your drinking behaviors, how much you're drinking, and thinking about your health. Everyone's health is important.
And if you're not in that place yet, that's fine. Maybe one day you'll get there.
And there's resources available to you if you do have a drinking health issue or you need to seek professional attention. Obviously, find that help when you're ready and take care of yourself.
I'm glad that our relationship with alcohol has changed.
Me too.
Because I think at the time I didn't think it ever would. I was like, I'm going to be young and doing this forever. I can't imagine a time I don't want to do this. But I think too, like, not only as you get older do you see like do you feel the negative effects, but I think also it's like we just want to be more like productive and we want to feel like our best selves and we want to be able to, go into the week feeling positive and good. And I think sometimes when you have weekends where you're just binge drinking, sometimes the week isn't so great and so productive. So,
honestly, I just want to sleep.
I know.
Like, I realized in dry January how much better my sleep was.
Yeah.
That now I'm prioritizing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather wake up on a Saturday, like sleep in a little bit, but not sleep in until like noon and have a headache the rest of the day and need to order pizza and bagels and things.
It's funny that we're saying this because I'm going to go drink tomorrow.
Hey.
But it's a birthday graduation party, so.
You do you, girl.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken about my bestie Chrissy before, but she finished grad school, which I mentioned, and she had to take this like really important exam. It's kind of like the bar exam, but for her field of psychology, and she passed.
Oh, congrats,
so
Chrissy.
We're going to go celebrate her.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's her birthday, so lots to celebrate.
Big wins. See, you're celebrating. There you go. You know why you're going to have a drink.
But I'm glad we had this conversation because I feel like not a lot of people think about alcohol this way. And
they're starting to.
Yeah. I just don't want it to be negative. I just
Yeah.
want it to be like healthy.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a healthy relationship with alcohol. I'm not saying that you have to not drink or you have to be sober curious or whatever.
I think the reasons you laid out for yourself, though, are like great.
Thanks. I think the reasons
sense.
you laid out for yourself are great.
Yeah. I think it's all personal, right? Like that's what we
is.
found.
Yeah. I mean, and if you are curious, test it. You know what I mean? I think the goal of this conversation was really to provide new information for listeners and to help people think about drinking in a new way.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about the book? Do you recommend it?
If you're curious, read it. I learned some new things. I learned some new things about alcohol advertising. I learned some things about health. It got a little bit spiritual. Then it started to feel a little pushy, I'm going to be honest. And I was like, I'm kind of done. I didn't finish the book 100% because it got too pushy for me. And
it was like, alcohol's bad. Don't drink it. Stop it right now.
It wasn't, it was a personal journey too.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt like there were some of her life issues kind of
creeping in.
And I was like, that's maybe you, but not me.
Not everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
So there were things I took from it and I really helped me. And I think I have a different perspective on drinking. And it definitely was a great reading material during dry January. But do I agree with it? Not 100%.
Yeah.
I think review 4 out of 5.
Okay. I think that's why too we're sharing this from our perspective and our relationship with alcohol and how it's changed for us because everyone has a personal experience and a personal journey with it. And like we said, if people want to continue drinking and like living their lives like that, then like who are we? What do we care? It's just how we want to feel.
Yeah.
And we're just sharing that.
We're not telling you what to do, but if you're going to have a drink, I would, I'm just kidding.
We're not telling you what to do, but don't you love to hear a but?
What is your drink of choice?
What's your drink of choice?
A Negroni.
Ooh. Spagliato.
Spagliato.
Oh, stunning.
Dash of Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
You sound Scottish.
That's fair. I like tequila always. I usually go for like a margarita, just not too sweet. So sometimes I like spicy margaritas. I love a tahini rim.
Oh.
Like, love a tahini rim. So good. That's mine. What about yours?
I like a glass of wine. I like limiting it almost to a glass. It makes me enjoy it more.
Oh, that's cute.
Or 2.
Or
just 2. I think my new limit is 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Especially given these new guidelines. But I like wine.
I know.
I'm more of a red wine, rosé person, not a real white wine person. And I used to be a gin and tonic girl. I still like a good gin and tonic on a hot day
Okay,
at the beach.
that's fair.
Want to play a fun game?
Yeah.
Okay, I just asked you what your favorite drink was.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just like do some. We're doing like a drinking game without drinking.
Let's like do some. What?
Let's play Would You Rather.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have a mocktail or a seltzer?
For the right mocktail, I'll say a mocktail.
Mm.
Sometimes they make them really good and like not too fruity, just the right amount of sweetness.
Mm.
But I do love seltzer.
I know.
I'm gonna go mocktail if it's the right one.
Okay.
Like I don't want like a mocktail of a margarita.
You just like, please add the tequila.
Yeah. I want like a refreshing, like spritzy, like cucumber-y type mocktail.
Ooh, that just reminded me of an Aperol spritz. When you said spritzy,
Oh.
I do like an Aperol spritz.
I don't
too.
love those, but
I would rather just have seltzer. I am a
Oh.
seltzer addict.
yeah, you are.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have said this before. Seltzer to me is like, I've never smoked a cigarette, but what I imagine is a cigarette because there's just something addictive about it. If I had a hard day at work, I'm really not reaching for the bottle of wine. I am reaching for my soda stream to make a seltzer.
Wow.
There's something about it.
Something about it.
Yeah. Right now I'm drinking seltzer out of a wine glass.
Oh. I like drinking water out of wine glasses. Makes it feel cute.
There's something about just like having a drink in your hand, not non-alcoholic or alcoholic, and talking with someone.
Yes.
I don't know what
It's a
it
comfort
is.
thing.
Yeah. So, and I think it is the vehicle too. It just makes you feel like you're social and having a good time. Would you rather go to a bar or a nightclub?
Depends on the night.
Taking too long. Bar. Always bar. Nightclub, just I have no patience. First of all, you
Okay.
got to wait in line. Second of all, you got to wear high heels. Both of which I haven't done since I was probably 25.
Well, I just said I wanted to go clubbing, so.
So call your other friends.
Would you rather dance on stage in front of a bunch of people or sing on stage in front of a bunch
Oh,
of people?
Jesus. I don't want to do either.
That's why you have to answer.
I would need a shot in order to do these.
Oh, here
No,
we
you're-
go.
You're not letting me be my
You're
sober
not-
self.
You're not letting me be my sober curious self.
Oh, God, those insecurities I would have to deal with.
I know.
Dance.
Yeah,
I can't sing.
same.
I had a dream the other night I could sing.
Really?
Yeah. I just remembered that when we talked about this.
Isn't that nice? If I could have any talent, I would want to sing.
Really?
Like I feel like you could let out so much like emotion and like I don't know, I think it's just like one of the most beautiful talents to have.
I agree. It makes me envious of people.
I know. And just I don't know, singing is so beautiful.
It is. It's a great gift.
Sometimes I pretend I can sing and people around me aren't happy about that.
I do it on the podcast.
Yeah, every blooper there's one of you singing.
I think maybe because I'm like, I actually don't sound that bad.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather drink only vodka for the rest of your life?
What? I'm going to die. Didn't you just hear all the health reviews? The health?
No. Like if you're drinking alcohol.
Oh, I thought you meant like I can't drink water.
No, you can't drink water. No. Like when you're drinking, would you rather drink only vodka or only beer?
Oh, God. I can't drink beer. It hurts my tummy.
Oh no.
I can't. It hurts my tummy.
So vodka?
If I had to, but like I can drink water.
Yes, but when you're drinking, like these are the two options you have when
Yeah,
drinking.
fine. I'll just have. But can I have a mixer with it?
Yeah, you can have a
Yeah,
mixer.
fine.
Okay.
I can't drink beer.
Yeah, I like beer.
I probably just wouldn't drink anymore.
Then you'd really be sober.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious. I'm thinking I could do it.
I think you can too, but like I think like
Peer pressure.
I think you can do it. I don't see a point of being like completely sober.
Mm.
I think like when you go out, sometimes like it'll be nice to have a drink.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be like binge drinking anymore if you don't want to, but
I never really was a binge drinker. I just drank more than I probably
should have.
mindfully should have.
Would you rather be famous or rich?
Rich.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't want people following me around on my every move.
Well, if you're if you're famous, you're likely also rich, but then everyone knows.
That's what I just said. I'm like, yeah, I don't want people following around and everyone like knows. You're like, well, let me tell you.
This is going off the rails, but I kind of love it because we're like, this is the true Tori and Chanel.
That's not on that.
This has been quite the journey.
Yes. But hopefully a productive one.
Well, I hope this episode wasn't too much of a downer for everyone. It wasn't meant to be. It's just meant to be informative and to provide new information and to help you make wise decisions when you drink responsibly.
Hashtag
When you
ad. Anyway, Tor, do you want to plug all our stuff?
Yes, please follow.
Definitely plug our TikTok because we filmed lots of TikToks today.
Okay, Chanel went from the girl that didn't want me to even bring up the word TikTok, and every time I'd be like, "Can you film this?" She'd be like, "Absolutely not." And now she's like going to be a full-time TikToker.
It was actually really fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was really funny.
If you're interested in posting TikToks, just start doing it.
Do it with a friend, I would say.
Do it with a friend.
Start it with a friend because I think I felt weird about doing it solo. So maybe doing it with a friend might help.
It is fun doing it with a friend. I felt more creative, and
Yeah.
there are different things you could do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So you can watch our new TikToks at Glad We Talked Podcast on TikTok and follow us along on Instagram at Glad We Talked Pod. You can also follow us along on Instagram at Glad We Talked Podcast. And as always, shoot us an email at gladwetalkedpodcast@gmail.com.
And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thanks, everyone.
Alrighty, we'll talk to you next week.
Glad we talked.
As always, glad we talked.
Bye.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
It's International Women's Day.
Jesus, the gate's so hot.
Trying to get this over with.
I know, but you were just like, I was like, whoa.
It's International Women's Day today.
Go girls.
Great. Moving on. What should we say about it?
Chanel, did you know that today is International Women's Day?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Okay. Ladies.
Hello. Happy International Women's Day.
Woo, this one's for you.
For who?
Oh, good.
For the women?
Oh, the single ladies.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? Let's finish this. Let's say goodbye.
Okay, and we'll do clean up. Yeah. Okay. And
it's familiarity.
You're familiar with it.
I can't say it.
We're all women, and we're all women.
All of us are women.
There are no men in this world.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
We'll see. Let us know your thoughts, listeners. I hate calling them listeners. I want to just like friends.
I guess just be like, I guess we'll wait to hear what everyone thinks.
Oh, I'm still talking to them. This was not a sidebar.
Oh.
I want you guys to know I don't really like calling you listeners. So what should we call you? I want the people to tell
I say
us.
friends.
Friends.
Because it is our friends.
Friends. That's true. Friends and moms.
Friends, moms, and aunts.
And cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, God. How do we round? I feel like we're like two drunk girls doing this podcast completely sober.